Some weeks ago, I was talking with Milo. Milo is the creator of the Ultimate Teacher Planner. The Teacher Planner that is at the moment the most successful Notion template for teachers. And after a short talk on Twitter, we agreed that I will do a template review of his Notion teacher planner. I did it on my blog, and now I am doing my first video review of a Notion template. First, you're probably a Notion user. If not, that might not be the right content for you. But as a Notion user, you should be aware that Notion is considered the Swiss Army knife of productivity tools. The great thing about Notion, and the reason why I love Notion, is that it allows you to build so many things. For example, in the past, I've built, for example, a spaced repetition tablet. I've built a Zettelkasten, which is a kind of a second brain. Of course, habit trackers, journaling tablets, task management tablets. Well, everything what is on your mind, you can, in theory, build inside of Notion without a single line of code. And that gives you, a huge flexibility, but that's also maybe one of the downsides of Notion, because the learning curve is a bit steep for beginners. But here, templates like the Ultimate Teacher Planner by Milo come into play, because they can easily be duplicated into your workspace in Notion, and they allow you to use sophisticated systems in Notion without building them from scratch. Yeah. So what about the Notion Teacher Planner? Well, it got really popular in the last weeks and months. On Gumroad and on Etsy, it's, according to my research, the most popular teacher tablet for Notion. It was also featured in the Notion template gallery. And the promise of this template is to make the organizational and administrative grind of teachers easier, so that in the end they can focus on the thing that is really mattering for them, teaching. But does this template really stand up to its reputation? Can it really fulfill all these promises? Well, let's have a look, and let's dive into the Ultimate Teacher Planner by Milo. When I first opened the Teacher Planner, well, what is clear is that it's a very well-structured template. So as you scroll down, you will encounter 7 dashboards. First, the teacher dashboard, which is more a general dashboard, but more about that in a few seconds. Then you have the note tracker, the lesson planner, bookmark tracker, classroom manager, student tracker, and task manager. So let's have a look at each of them. As said before, the teacher dashboard, that's the core of the template. It's a place where all the other 6 templates come together. It starts with a calendar view that displays upcoming tasks and lessons. Besides, you can also see your current projects, important notes, or, for example, pinned bookmarks. And probably when you're working with the template, the teacher dashboard is the place you will spend the most time in. Now we are in the note tracking dashboard. This dashboard, it allows you to quickly capture notes and organize them with tags and put them into notebooks. But the default view is draft. And let's create a new note. And let's say new note. It's not so creative. And you see, you can now connect it with a notebook. Let's say personal thoughts, and we can say a topic. Do we keep it personal? Yeah. And let's give it a color tag. Personal, I think it's blue. Let's give it a blue tag. And now that's our note. And here in the page, we can, of course, write whatever we want to write. Write whatever want to write. And we have created a note draft. Of course, we can pin it. So we do it by clicking on the checkbox here, and a pinned note will be displayed in the pinned view that is over here when you click on pinned. That's how you create notes in this dashboard. Maybe some more words about topics and notebooks. You can, of course, create more topics if you want. And notebooks, feel free to add notebooks or delete existing notebooks if you think they're not really fitting to you. I guess for teachers, lesson ideas, student reports, personal thoughts, class notes, those journals or those notebooks make sense. So probably you are going to keep them. But yeah, of course, you can add more notebooks by simply clicking on new, or in my case, it's German, plus neu. And yeah, the last view here is all notes. So you see all the notes you have created. That's a board view. So the board view allows you to, to drag and drop the notes. For example, just if you want to change the topic from personal, you can say now it's a development note. But probably that's not so useful actually. Some people prefer the table view, so that's up to you. As long as you don't have too many notes, the table view is sufficient. With too many notes, when you have a large database, it can be confusing to have to scroll through a long list of notes. In my opinion, it's much better to have a board view that's similar to my Zettelkasten template and to categorize the notes in different categories. And yeah, that's the note tracker dashboard. Lesson planning. Lesson planning for teachers can sometimes get tiresome and complicated if they don't have a lot of experience on how to do it correctly. And this dashboard helps in planning new lessons. You first start by adding a lesson unit, for example, science, writing, history. So, depending on the fields you're teaching, of course, we can add it here. And let's say new test unit, and we can just preload a template. Let's say general, and now we got the icon. New let's say new general test unit. And what do you see here? Lessons. Here's the lesson database embedded in the lesson unit database. Why is that the case? Well, now we have a unit. We created a new general test unit, but we can take any of the other units here, for example, history, and inside that page, we can add our new lessons. World War II, Fall of Rome, and now we say, for example, Napoleonic Wars. I hope that's written correctly. And the date is, let's say, tomorrow. And type is lesson. Status is, we can say, not started, in progress, done, or archive. Let's say not started because it's tomorrow. And boom, the lesson appears here in our calendar. And of course, as a teacher, you will, in most cases, have several lessons every day, and the calendar view helps you in keeping track and keeping yourself organized and see what you're going to teach in the next week or the next days. And that's basically the lesson planner dashboard. Here's the lesson database, and you see in the first view all lessons. In the second view, it's categorized by unit or the archived lessons, so lessons you don't need anymore. And that are the most important things you can do in that database. And next, we look at the Bookmark Tracker. So when you're navigating through the web and you're finding some interesting resources like a video or meme or article or whatever, and you think it's a good fit for your students, well, then you should save it for using it later in your lessons. For saving, Milo recommends using the Save to Notion Chrome extension. I have installed it in my Chrome browser, but I'm not going to give you now a tutorial on how to set it up. That's probably a topic for one of my next videos. But if you use the Notion Chrome extension Save to Notion, then your saved resource should appear here in the inbox. You see, you get an URL, you get a topic and a name. Of course, you can also manually add new bookmarks. You simply click on new, then give it a name and choose a topic, let's say videos, and then you can also input an URL to find that resource again. In that case, I don't have one. So, but in practice, you should add an URL because otherwise you're not going to find resource again. Now you also have the option to pin it or archive it, but more about this later. In the next section, we see the topics. And I've added my new note to the topic videos. Let's click on videos and you find all the notes or all the bookmarks connected with videos. But our new note is not here. Why is that the case? I forgot something. You have to change status from inbox to done. And now it disappeared from the inbox. And it is moved to the database. And you see it here. Here's our new note. And in the next section, we have the bookmark database. As in the previous dashboards, the first view is about all notes. So you see all the notes in that database. That's maybe not the most straightforward view and a little bit confusing for most users. I think for most people, the board view is the most convenient way to access or to see the notes because here they are sorted in the different categories. Pinned is also a good view because here you see the most important bookmarks in your database. And as I told you before, you can simply pin or unpin all your notes. So for example, that is an unpin. And if we say we want to pin something, then we click simply on the note. For example, Notion icons. We pinned it and now it's inside the pinned database. Archive, here are all the archived notes. I've done it before when I tested this video. I've archived the Notion for Teacher bookmark. Let's unarchive it and you see it disappeared. We archive and it's again inside the archived view. And that's how the bookmarks are working in that dashboard. It's convenient and it's fast and it's doing its job well. And now we're coming to the Classroom Manager. That's a kind of centralized way to see all the information that are related to your classes. For example, you have the Monday history class. We click on it, and here on the page you find all the information that is relevant to the class. You have quick links. You have a list of your readings, the lessons that are aligned with that, the student list. That's the next dashboard, actually. The student list is also here. And maybe now you think, wow, Philip, I'm totally overwhelmed. I'm not sure how to input all the information on that page. Don't worry, it's a template. When we create a new class, for example, here, we simply click on one of the templates and, of course, choose the right color for the class. Let's say, let's stay with black. And you see the template includes the structure for the page. So now you just have to fill in the information for the class. And that's how this dashboard is working. And here we are in the Student Tracker dashboard. That dashboard allows you to keep track of your students and, of course, also to save all the information relevant to your students inside Notion instead of using some massive paper or some Excel spreadsheet file. And in the first section, you see the birthdays, today's birthdays. So if any of your students has a birthday or birthdays coming, attendance is the most important part here of that dashboard. Let's create a new day, and we say it's a Monday, for example, and the present student is Charlie, absent is Daisy, and late is Chloe. And now when we go to the students dashboard, we see the attendance, the overall attendance of the students calculated here. My only problem now is that it is not really linked with the class. So if a student is attending more than one class, you only see the overall attendance, but not the attendance for that specific class. So maybe there's a better way to solve that. When we click on a student, we again have a Notion page, and here we can input more information about that specific student. Just keep in mind that there might be some data protection issues in, for example, EU countries or in countries with stricter data protection laws. So you might not be allowed to insert personal information into Notion. If you have never used a task manager before, you will love that. Tracking tasks makes the life so much easier. There's a life before tracking tasks and there's a life after tracking tasks. And believe me, you will not go back after you have started that. But let's begin. It's pretty basic and straightforward task manager. It comes with a projects view. You can also create new projects. From now on, I think you should know how to do that. We click on the template, then we get the flare, and we have the task database connected. We also with an overview and goals. You can fill that out to give you a better understanding of your current project. And every task that is created here is connected with that project. What I like about this database is the progress bar. The progress bar is connected with the task database, and if a task is completed, the progress is shown here. In that case, for the end of year report cards, 33.3% of the tasks are completed. For our new project, 0% of the tasks are completed. But if we go into the page and we say it's done, then the progress bar shows us, yippee, 100% of the tasks are completed. Here you also see a timeline, the timeline when the project is relevant. You see the task view, but at the moment there are no current tasks, so you don't see them here. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of this kind of view. I prefer the calendar view for the tasks. And that's the task database. You see the tasks that are due for today or this week. That's empty. You see the completed tasks and you have a list of all tasks. Let's change the date to something. When are we? Let's change it to tomorrow. And today is still empty, but this week you see coworker meeting is due tomorrow. What I criticize about this approach is, you see here a lot of tasks, they are not done, they're not checked. And normally in my task managers, I would I would keep them due for today. If as long as they're not checked or archived, I would make sure that they are shown in today's view so that somebody who is working on completing all tasks sees all the tasks that were not done in the past. And they might be, for example, here the tasks are from last summer, so like 3 months ago. They might not be relevant anymore, but then in that case, it's better to just archive them and instead of not showing them. Now imagine today I'm forgetting to check all the tasks. I'm coming to the next day, and now the task isn't shown anymore, and I forget about it. So I would change the filter to not is today. Sorry, that is in German, but is due or before today. You see what I changed now, and now you have all the tasks that were not done in the past are shown for today. So what is my rating? My rating. First, usability. I would say I give 5 out of 5 stars. Why? Because it's evident that Milo knows his audience. So the tablet is really well thought out, and it's easy to start using the tablet. And Milo also provides a great tutorial, a video tutorial, which makes it, even for beginners, pretty easy and straightforward to start using that tablet. The next point is creativity. Here I would say 4.5 out of 5 points or stars. Why not 5 full stars? Yeah, while it's the most popular teacher tablet on the market, it's not really inventing the wheel in a new way. So all the features of the tablet, well, I've seen them before. There's nothing new under the sun in this tablet. But still, the way it is done, I like it. I appreciate Milo's approach and Milo's design. That's the next point, actually. So I would say 4.5 out of 5 stars. And the last point, that's aesthetics. And aesthetics, again, 5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, it's simple because for me, the tablet is really great looking. I like the coloring schemes of the tablet. I like how Milo is using different colors for each dashboard, which makes it really easy to navigate the tablet, which is also the reason for 5 stars for usability. And yeah, aesthetics, it's one of the most beautiful Notion tablets I've seen so far. So I was really impressed, and yeah, the tablet really deserves the full stars here. And that is my rating. I hope my review was helpful for you. If you have any further question, yeah, feel free to ask me anything in the comments below, and I will try to answer as quick as possible. See you next time, and I wish you a productive week.